Hello and welcome to Restore 2022. We are in the book of Judges, chapter 15 and 16. The previous chapters have paved the way for what we read today in these chapters. Samson has had his trust shattered and he's full of anger. He goes back home and there is a while there. And while he was home, then his wife-to-be is given to Samson's best man. But he does not find this out until he returns to visit her. And he wasn't expecting that, but he really gets very angry now. And it's interesting how he expresses in verse 3 that his vengeance now is innocent, whereas perhaps the one that he killed the 30 wedding guests in chapter 14 was not. But Samson's anger, pride, jealousy, and violence led to more devastation, violence, and oppression from the Philistines. Actually, for them to continue to do that towards the people of Israel. And in pursuit of Samson, the Philistines dragged the men of Judah into this conflict. These men of Judah are the same group of people that we read about in the beginning of the book of Judges. But now they have naturalized, they've adopted to the philosophy and the practice and the moral expectations of the Philistines to the point that they are going to hand over Samson to them. But this section ends with the Spirit of the Lord coming upon Samson, empowering him to break his ropes and kill 1,000 Philistines. Finally, Samson called upon the name of the Lord for the first time. And the Lord answers his call and he gives him water to drink. Samson never had an army, never had a group of Israelites to follow him. He never asked for help from any of them. He was a one-man band. And one would hope that after this encounter with God, there would be a U-turn in our Bible character. The things will be different from this point onwards. But that's not what we read here, and that's not what the writer of Judges suggests. He carries on being careless and reckless. He goes to Gaza and spends half of the night there with a prostitute and puts his life in danger again. And this forces him to move on and go to the valley of Sorek. And there Samson meets another woman. And this time she does not just ignite his desire, she captivates his heart. We're not told a great deal about her, but we know that looking at the relationship that Samson has with her, we can assume that she was a Philistine. Delilah, she was the savior of the Philistines. This is the person that they've been waiting for. The cunning setup that we read about in these verses follows a similar pattern to the events that are surrounding Samson's wedding in Timnah in Judges 14. The Philistines asked her to wheedle Samson, to lure, to coax into sharing his secrets. However, this time the secret was not the answer to a riddle, but the source of his strength. And the source of his strength was in that identity. There was nothing magic about Samson's hair, but was the only sign that showed that he was a Nazirite. He was committed to Yahweh. He was set apart for a special relationship and a special task for God. And the end of showing this secret was tragic for everybody. Now, a number of interpreters have pointed out that Samson is to be viewed as the last of the 12 judges as a reflection of the spiritual condition of Israel. He embodied the tragedy that was encompassing Israel at that time. They were born by an act of God. They were set apart to be people for God from birth in Exodus. They were blessed to be a blessing, and yet continually they messed up their special relationship and calling, and doing away with what gifts God has given them. And I pray that today this reminder will help us to cherish, to ponder, to look at the potential and the blessings that we've got with our own relationship with God and make the most of it.